turning arguments into literal assaults. These sudden outbursts transform defenders into victims. Stay tuned to see what happens when lawyers take the hit.
Ooh. I keep telling you he's a problem.
Deputy, please move.
From his counsel, who I'll defer to in a moment.
This man was in court for a competency hearing, but then stunned everyone by turning violent. Christopher Teal, a 26-year-old accused of assaulting a woman in a Ballard car dealership bathroom, became suddenly aggressive during a February 2020 hearing in Seattle. When he appeared in the court, he shocked everyone when he suddenly punched his own defense attorney, Reed Birkland.
From his counsel, who I'll defer to in a moment, that they are now stipulating that Mr. Teal.
Four sheriff's deputies rushed in and tackled him to the floor.
Get down! Face down! Face down! Put your hand on your back! Put your hand on your back now!
Thankfully, the attorney wasn't hurt and said he holds no hard feelings.
I'll be a prisoner.
But still chose to step away from the case the very next day. Teal continued acting out in later hearings.
I'd like to know where the they got that photo of me with my short hair. That was on Facebook, and I don't have a Facebook.
All right.
So you're on the legitimate question. Like, do they have access to Google?
In the end, Teal was convicted of the serious charges tied to the Ballard incident and sentenced to 8.5 years to life in prison.
Walk out toward me.
Have a seat. Have a seat.
This is Taylor Shabusnis, a 25-year-old woman from Wisconsin whose case turned into a courtroom nightmare. In 2022, she was arrested after police discovered a disturbing crime scene involving her boyfriend.
Walk out toward me.
Have a seat. Have a seat. Who else is in the apartment? Be straight up. Tomes? Who else? Just Tomes? Is he armed? Nobody's armed?
Nobody's armed.
You sure?
Shabusnis was charged with the killing and dismembering of her partner, a crime that sent shockwaves through the local community.
Well, I'm going right now.
Okay. You shouldn't be in the back of my car too long, okay?
I'm going right now. I got a big issue right now. Hate that mother. Hate that mother. I hate seeing double. I really do. All the time. All the time. This is annoying as I can't wait to get out of these cops. Yeah, I'm having issues right now because I can't see straight. I can't see straight at all.
But the case didn't just make headlines because of the crime. Her behavior in court added to the shock. At one point, she physically attacked her own defense attorney during a hearing, catching the courtroom completely off guard.
We're off the record.
Even in later hearings, her attitude was cold, detached, almost smug.
Clear, and I'm going to afford the attorneys an opportunity to talk now that I've clarified things, because I've got some concerns.
In the end, the jury found her guilty, and the judge sentenced her to life behind bars without the possibility of parole.
I'm going to impose 3 years of initial confinement, followed by 4 years of extended supervision. That will be consecutive to count 2 and count 1. As far as the revocation cases, I'm going to impose 1 year of incarceration on each of those counts. Those will run concurrent to the other offenses. I've reviewed, as I've indicated, both of the pre-sentence investigation reports. There's certainly valuable things in them.
A brutal case, and one of the most bizarre courtroom scenes caught on camera.
Any other record you'd like me to make? Mr. Freilich, any other record?
Your Honor, the 581 days credit for time served.
Any objection to that?
No, and there's an additional 60 days on the...
Did you just give me 40 years, sir?
This is Ricky Hand, a 46-year-old from Springfield, Ohio, in court for a string of armed robberies.
Sir, yes. You just gave me 40 years. Well, guess what? Sir, what's this?
Hand pleaded guilty to 7 of 30 charges, which included aggravated robbery, break-ins, and using a weapon during a crime spree earlier in 2016. At his sentencing, he blamed his actions on drug addiction and appeared remorseful until the judge handed down a 40-year term.
You just gave him 4 years. Well, guess what?
He stood up and, pulling bottles secreted in his sling and pants, hurled feces and urine at his defense attorney and deputies, causing a chaotic scene. Investigators revealed he had smuggled 4 bottles of bodily waste into court, claiming he'd stored them for weeks in jail. Protocol failures were flagged, and Hand was hit with new charges: 5 counts of harassment with a bodily substance, obstruction of official business, and retaliation.
You can't play Jesus and God? What's wrong with you? 40 is a death sentence, man! I just gave the people all that yeah, man!
In the end, he remains serving the 40-year sentence for his robberies and faces years more if convicted on the new charges. A bizarre, tense courtroom moment that stunned everyone in attendance. This man was rolled into court for armed robbery charges, but what happened next had everyone stunned. Wendell Hollingsworth, 43, had already made headlines for robbing churches, stores, even people in their cars. But during his court appearance, things took a wild turn. As soon as the hearing began, Hollingsworth got upset and furious that he had a court-appointed attorney. Without warning, he kicked his lawyer, Scott Wiseman, straight in the face. Deputies rushed in. One officer got zapped by a taser during the chaos, and Hollingsworth had to be covered with a spit hood to keep things under control.
I'm down, man.
The drama didn't stop the case. A year later, Hollingsworth was found guilty of a long list of crimes, from robbing an animal shelter to pointing a gun at churchgoers during Mass. The judge gave him 93 years in prison.
The maximum sentence that he could receive is 104 years.
Okay, well, give it to me now. It's unfair. Give it to me. Give me 250 years right now. It's unfair. Why sit up, you press? I ain't gonna get a fair trial. This ain't no fair trial. All I ask you to do is farm and snowing.
Thank you once again for telling me how to do my job.
Okay, you ain't gonna treat me fair. You gonna treat me fair, and you a Catholic. I'm charged around the Catholic Church. I'm gonna get a fair trial. This is false.
That courtroom outburst, just a preview of how unpredictable and dangerous he really was. This guy was sentenced to nearly 50 years, but the worst was yet to come. David Chiselton, 42, had pleaded guilty in February 2019 to a wave of violent crimes in Cuyahoga County, Ohio, including assaulting his girlfriend, setting fire to an apartment building, and abuse allegations. Watch the shocking moment he sucker punches his own lawyer immediately after hearing the 47-year sentence.
Put your left hand behind your back. Do you understand?
Yeah.
All right. Put that left hand behind your back like I asked. Okay. All right. Roll this way.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
What do you need? Water, ice?
No, I'm good
Are
for
you
now.
Sure? What about Mike? Who's Mike? Okay. Mike? Okay. Alex?
Yeah.
Okay.
The courtroom broke into chaos. Deputies quickly tackled Chiselton, while prosecutors rushed to pull his attorney to safety. He now faces new charges for the outburst, adding to an already lengthy sentence tied to his earlier convictions.
If I'm a convict, I want to testify by myself.
Part of the proceedings,
You
I'm
gonna
going to
speak
ask
up?
That's because it's not his turn to ask questions.
This is Lamont Payne in Maricopa County Superior Court, Arizona, in 2018, standing trial for allegedly assaulting a county jail corrections officer. His attorney, Vladimir Gajic, had spent many hours preparing the case and was on an hourly contract plus a $1,000 upfront fee. But Payne grew frustrated during jury selection, complaining his lawyer wouldn't speak for him. The judge warned he'd be removed for further outbursts, and Payne complied, gathering his papers.
Man, my lawyer ain't gonna speak up. It's plain and simple.
Sir?
You asked him a question just a minute ago about him being biased. If I'm a convict, I want to testify by myself.
Part of the proceedings,
You gonna
I'm gonna
speak
ask
up?
Sir, that's because it's not his turn to ask questions. The appropriate time will happen at the appropriate time. If you continue to have outbursts, I'm going to have to remove you from the
Now it's
courtroom.
appropriate time. I keep telling you, he's a problem.
Deputy.
Then, out of nowhere, Payne hit Gajic in the jaw.
I keep telling you, he's a problem.
Deputy, please move. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to need a second to deal with this.
Let me get my... No,
he doesn't get anything. He's out.
Gajic ended up with an affected nose and some swelling, but said he was okay. He just got a taste of Payne's skin, as he put it. After that, new steps were taken. Payne's no longer allowed in court in person, and now only shows up through a video link.
Defense counsel, although he was in a difficult position before, I think is an untenable position. So I think I'm going to have to remove him as attorney of record unless you think you can go forward.
I can go forward.
Huh?
I can go forward. And I'm not going to press any charge.
Gajic's contract as a public defender was suspended just days later. He says he returned the $1,000 upfront payment after being asked by the Public Defense Services, citing communication issues. Now he's thinking about taking legal action against the county over how the situation was handled. Meanwhile, Payne remains in custody and separated from his trial proceedings.
And where was the room? So did the incident allegedly happen in a living room?
Now here's Cody Jones, a 26-year-old from Louisville, Kentucky, whose attempted murder hearing erupted when he took matters into his own hands.
Did the victim make any statements as to the attempt to kill?
He stated he was asleep on the couch. The suspect awoke him, saying that he had his blanket, produced a knife, and attempted to stab him. The victim got up, ran to the front door. The front door was locked, and the suspect proceeded to stab him multiple times while he said he was going to kill him.
Were there any injuries on Mr. Jones that you saw?
Not that I can recall.
Jones, accused of stabbing a man over a blanket, became agitated during the proceedings, feeling his attorney wasn't defending him forcefully enough.
Well, ask the question, no. You gotta ask the question. I was asked you.
What you want me?
He took evidence of a white people with blood all over.
What evidence did you collect from the scene?
We collected We took photographs of the scene. We collected 3 knives, and we also collected his shirt that he was wearing.
And then did you interview any neighbors or anybody in the community about the incident?
No.
Quarter mil fine. Quarter mil fine. I don't want to. I'm not kidding you.
That's your attorney or
just let me right there. I'm paying you. Don't tell me what to do. No, I've done told you several times. I don't fire. Give me my paperwork. I'm going to social court. I don't want my to post it at no 100,000. Keep it at a quarter mil. Out here, but you don't tell me what to do. I don't say your file.
That's it.
Give me my paperwork.
You're going back.
The courtroom burst into chaos as he charged at his defense attorney, delivering a violent headbutt.
That's it.
Give me my paperwork.
You're going back.
Prior to this hearing, Jones had stabbed a man multiple times in the neck and back, allegedly triggered by an argument over a blanket, and barricaded himself in his bedroom before police intervened.
On your belly. On your belly.
Mr. Jones, let me get a control of you there. I'm going to go ahead and I'll keep the bond where it is.
Security quickly restrained Jones and halted the hearing. No immediate charges were filed for the assault, but his action has sparked scrutiny into courtroom safety and defendant management.
I'm good. That was just a light scratch.
Good job, Sheriff.
He remains in custody on the original stabbing charges, with proceedings now paused amid questions about his mental state and legal defense setup.